Welcome back to the Single Malt Review with Secret Spirits Advent Calendar. It is day 21 with no sign of anything slowing down. We've had some real curly ones. The streak lives again. I was able to pick yesterday's Colila. Will Dave be able to get on board with today's, or will it be some sort of abject, unguessable nightmare?
Got to say, I've been pretty off for the last several goes.
Well,
had some early successes there.
I think you've of all of us, you've had the hard picks so far. I got An Isla, which I consider more pickable than not, and then I got the absolute gimme with the Ardmore, which is one of my pocket whiskies. Ardmore works for me. But yeah, these mainland jobs, they are not quite so easy. So I will wrest today's whiskey from the pouch here. Oh, getting good at that. Let's see what we're dealing with. What noise should I make with this one? I don't know. It's can't even muster one. I'll make no noise at all. Just give absolutely nothing away.
Possibly new and unguessable to you. I can try to read into that what I may.
I think I will say one thing. I think it's going to be a pretty good dram. I'll give you that. And one moment, your time begins now.
Oh, right. Ooh. On the nose, there's immediate toffee, a little bit of citrus. Ooh, lots of toffee, lots of confectionery.
It's a fairly sweet old nose, yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of fire though, so okay, malt whiskey by default, almost as a certainty.
Malt whiskey locked in, all right. There is a bit of fire here, which is surprising me for various reasons. It's a... Would you consider this... I think this is kind of a spirit-driven nose.
There is a spicy warmth to it. I'm going to have to go on and taste to get more. Oh, that's very good and very familiar.
That's got a lot more concentration to it than I was expecting from the nose. The nose is quite... standoffish almost. It's quite sort of lilting, gentle, but the palate, that's quite explosively fruity there.
Yeah. But still with a lot of confectionery notes.
Yeah, dripping with heather honey as well. That's... Shall we do the water?
Yes, please.
Just a smidge in here. Oop, there we are.
Great. Oh, that's quite hefty now. Must have been a fair amount of water.
No,
I'm guessing quite a strong whiskey.
You're trying to read metadata into it now. It's as always exactly the right amount of water.
That has not fundamentally transformed.
No, it
which
hasn't.
Is nice.
It hasn't mega altered that one.
It has slightly softened that spicy heat, but not by much even.
This one, I'm afraid to say, is not going to be easy.
Okay, because my mind has made a beeline to Hazelburn based on the initial flavour characteristics.
That's a very interesting pick. Hazelburn. Explain your working for Hazelburn.
Wow, there's an intense, slightly fiery heft to it, but a lot of very sweet confectionery notes, honey, rock candy, boiled sweets, generally a real party in a sweet shop. Which is...
Have you got any thoughts as to the wood, maybe? Because that's what's confusing me the most, and I of course have all the answers. But that's what's kind of throwing me for a loop here. Is the wood involved?
I think, given a choice between bourbon and sherry, leaning very heavily towards sherry here. The addition of water did not fundamentally change it and make it into that sort of slightly tinned fruit Speyside concoction. So I'm thinking probably refill. It's not a super active cask.
Right. Well, let's. I forgot to watch the clock there, so we'll say let's wrap up. Final thoughts.
Well.
Goodness, there's like green apple on here as well. All right, really final thoughts now. I'm stopping the clock.
Hazelburn.
Hazelburn. All right, interesting. It's not a Hazelburn. It's a little bit further across.
Oh.
We're back in Speyside once again.
Mother.
It is Gardener's Biscuit Break.
What?
From
it's another
Weems.
Weems. Okay.
And it's an 18-year-old linkwood.
Goodness.
From cask type butt. We'll assume that means cherry. This is a real space oddity. 18 years old, and yet almost 100% spirit-driven. This is such a spirity whiskey. This must be this cask must have been absolutely wobbling around on its very last legs. This must be third fill,
blimey,
or even further far gone than that.
I was thinking Hazelburn or Springbank. Distillery, but
you must have been getting a funk that I wasn't, because Springbank usually presents a bit more of a psychedelic. Well, in the nose, maybe more than the palate, but Hazelburn least funky of the trifecta. But this one
it's very so atypically Speyside, especially after Reading Water.
Yeah, what this one reminded me of was. Do you remember, I think it was an old malt cask, it was years ago now, it was a Glen Ord 12-year-old, and it was the most spirit-driven thing we've ever tasted, and
that's ringing some bells.
This is the only thing this reminds me of.
Yeah, I assumed this was much stronger and much younger. It says it's 18 years old and bottled at 46%, so it's not cask
super mobile and youthful.
Yeah.
It's, that makes it super tough. This is probably a lot more interesting than we're giving it credit for, because what this is a window into mature linkwood profile when you almost completely remove the cask influence, because there is so little wood here.
I think the only linkwood we've done on the channel has been a 23-year-old Adelphi.
It was an Adelphi, and it was super woody. I think that was probably, it was bourbon,
Asian, I believe, 23 years old.
Yeah, and it was super dark, super concentrated.
It was also super 5 years ago.
So. Yeah, it was way back. Back when I could afford Adelphi bottles, which certainly
I think it was from my collection, so...
okay, back when either of us could afford Adelphi bottles. That is...
Good to have a chance to try it
again. Remarkable, yeah. I think it's difficult in that it's not, compared to especially a lot of the sherry casks we've tried in this selection, it's not sort of super boisterous, super weird. It is a really interesting study into the absolutely granularity, like the real heart of old linkwood whiskey.
And another case of a novel but surprisingly apt naming scheme from Weems, a Gardener's Biscuit Break. It has a real taste of a sweet golden syrup, oat and fruit biscuit.
Oaty biscuit is definitely what I get off it. So I guess I see. I think they're kind of dipping a wee bit into the old Scotch Malt Whisky Society bogus names of, like, I don't know, back of Michael Jackson's car or whatever they come up with. They're completely insane ones. I think Weems keeps it a bit more tightened up than that. But the certainly does. It brings you into the mood of the whiskey, I suppose. I think Gardener's Biscuit Break, it brings to mind a calming, relaxed sort of a scene, and I think this is a calming, relaxed sort of a whiskey. It's a whiskey that is in zero hurry.
Yeah.
Zero hurry to go anywhere, and has zero anything to prove to anybody. It's a whiskey that is doing its own thing as old linkwood, and let me just give that a bit of a buzz there. See, I suppose, no, what am I doing? It's 46%. It couldn't present a head if it wanted to. It's not quite strong enough. It's a whiskey very much on its own time, and this, I think, if anything, would be something that would be really interesting to really go deep into. Were we doing a full on tasting as our usual format? This, we could go real long in this and look up web pages and go on and on. But that's not what we're doing for this particular series. So we will just have to add that one to the archive. It will come back. They will all come back when we have to assemble a podium of the greatest of the great from these ones. It's going to be very, very hard work. You can look forward to that around Christmas Day, just to pad out the experience. But for now, goodness, and it's evolving in the glass. No, it's trying to drag me in. I'm not going to let it. It's my turn in the hat next, and I'm feeling strong. I've been emboldened by that Colila, and I'm going to go in hard and heavy. All right, Snanja, we will be back tomorrow. Catch us then.